between the games here. So we already see Snake, instant adaptation after game 1, immediately ban away the Janna.
Remember back to Season 4 Worlds, where Janna was kind of a must-ban, must-pick? I think that she's really in that spot again. Just the disengage, especially the fact that Gragas is so potent right now. You can't let a team have both of them with the hyperscale potential from Vayne. So I actually like the adaptation from Snake here to ban it.
Good ban there. Don't want to first pick it because there's plenty of other champions you'd rather have, but happy to take it away from Xiaogu, despite the fact that it also is a champion Ella does play. But standard Kalista ban, expected Kalista ban there from Xiaogu, meets with the Ryze ban, meets with an Azir ban, as teams just making sure they ban away some of these key picks. Kassadin again here, the ban from Snake, as they're quickly through their bans. Only one real change there for them.
The thing for me, and I'm strong on the Vayne Janna, but I'm also really strong on the Kassadin on 5.13. I feel like his general build path with the Rod of Ages was just given an overall buff, and he lost nothing out, and he just got that much stronger. So Kassadin, I think's back.
I feel like it's just smoother.
Yep.
Everything's just a little easier now as Kassadin to get to those points of power, which is, of course, the trouble you run into. W9D has already shown plenty of prowess on Kassadin as Fizz. Target ban there up in the top lane against Flandre, but they'll take, expectedly, the first pick Victor.
And again, pulling this one away from W9D. Yu is a fantastic Victor player. Curious what W9D's answer is going to be, if it will be the Runeglaive Ezreal, or if TNT will find his hands on that if they lock it in.
Well, Ezreal's at least being hovered now, was banned in the last series, so can still be the takeaway here for
You have to pick Echo.
I mean, they already know that there's a mid lane pick, so probably don't need to pick Ezreal right now unless Martin really wants to take it as an AD to just deny that away from W9D. But we saw this exact same situation in the first series. First pick Victor, immediately answered by Shen Echo, but it was Xiaogu that won that game on blue side. Snake might be happy if this is what happens in the draft.
And again, just to underline why this is happening, you can't let... It's almost like Hecarim and Sivir. The two champions just have so much synergy. You can't let Echo and Victor be on the same team. The parallel convergence on top of the gravitational field in elongated fights, which is what a lot of these are coming down to. Just the amount of rotations through that CC and that damage is just disgusting.
And Shen is the pick away. Echo will go there as well to Swift. And we'll start things off exactly how we... Oh my god.
They're just trading compositions.
They are, apparently. Can't pick Janna, of course, but they've already locked in Vayne. Might go for Braum as well. Yep, Ella's going to take it once more.
Okay. What is Xiaogu's move now?
I don't know. I mean, this draft is eerily similar, despite the fact that the teams have switched sides here for game number 2. But I wonder if they have a different solution here to the Braum Vayne lane. We talked about it a bit with Vayne Janna. Synergy there can be a decent early game lane in a 2v2. Braum though,
I don't like Vayne
not
with
nearly as good.
any other support but Janna. Sorry, Vayne.
Look, it's jungle Vayne. She's coming.
I just feel like it devours out. Let's go, boys.
Maybe.
Is that Scarra?
Could be. We'll have to find out later. Right now, Snake. Pretty confident with their picks at least. They're going to take those 3 into battle. Xiaogu though, really going through a bunch of different options here. I don't mind Annie. TCT special.
See, Kog'Maw, just so much, it's such a better answer than Vayne. If you don't have the Janna, pick Kog'Maw. He's going to do exactly the same thing. He's going to have that mid-game. Man, I give up.
Annie Sivir is the answer there for Xiaogu, which I actually do like here. I think the issue is that you can't really take Kog'Maw into Braum.
You can't take Kog'Maw into much.
No.
But I still feel like he's in a better place than Vayne without Janna. Still.
I would agree.
Yeah.
But Braum is a problem.
Likewise, this is the Xiaogu special, the Annie Sivir bot lane. TNT, one of his most played champions, is going to be Sivir. TCT, one of his most played champions, is going to be that Annie.
You want to talk about high impact, low econ bottom lanes? This is really just a level 6 lane. Don't even need items. Just pop the buttons, get in there. As we do see Nara and Gragas actually. So Snake going to take a couple pages out of Xiaogu's last comp. Try and copy it to the best of their ability.
I haven't seen Flandre pull out Nara in a long time. Or Maokai, for that matter.
I think Flandre has sworn off Maokai, but I believe he has a Nara game in the last 5 when he started this series. So, does still play, but you're right, not nearly as often. Much more Fizz, much more Shen. Sort of the more in vogue top laners instead.
Did you just say in vogue?
I did. Is that a problem?
No, I love you, Pastry.
Okay, that's fine. 25 seconds now for Xiaogu. Take their last pick here.
What's going to be doing? Be Nautilus mid?
No, here comes Annie.
Ezreal?
Plot twist. It's Annie. I don't know what you're taking to Victor. Ezreal was an option. Covered it before, but might stick to more team fighting here for Xiaogu. That's the interesting thing to me. Just pick more control mages. Nope, never mind. W9D swaps over to the Smite and takes the Ezreal.
So let's talk about how Runeglaive Ezreal changes up the pressure on top of the map. So by taking Runeglaive Ezreal, you pick up your Smite, so you sacrifice your secondary summoner spell and any sort of kill pressure that you would have on a lane, especially against a Victor, which means that ganking mid lane without at least 3 people, so TCT getting involved, is not going to happen. So what does that mean? That means Swift is now telegraphed into the top lane and into the bottom lane. Specifically the bottom lane, especially post level 6 for both Flandre and TCT. That does set up a very easy counter gank option for ZZR, knowing that, hey, where's this Echo going to be? Probably bot with Annie.
Yeah. I mean, Shen can join as well at level 6, but I think level 1, once again, going to be nice and important between these two sides here. Have to think that Snake got the better of the early game in game number 1, so can Xiaogu maybe not get nearly as outfoxed as they did in the last game here in game number 2.
Yeah, Snake trying to make early game macro plays, kind of fumbled a bit. Xiaogu very punishing when it comes into those skirmishes and those 5v5s. That said, we have very similar team comps, very similar identities this time around, and it should be another brawl slugfest.
Yeah, slightly less reliable disengage for now, but still there for Flandre if he wants it. ZZR going to reverse the jungle matchup. Gragas into Echo as you going to take Doinby's victory, but Doinby says, yeah, whatever, I'll ignore the mid lane. Give me the hyper carry Ezreal instead.
Going to try to do his best Dade impression.
Dade was very impressive this weekend. We'll see if he can get that done there. Martin on the vein going to steal that away from TNT. And TCT, of course, on the Annie versus Ella with another repeat performance on Braum. Really likes his Braum in game 1. Not sure how I feel about it compositionally here in this game, but his play certainly on the champion.
The unsung hero, Ella. We'll see if he sacrifices himself for his team's mistakes again.
Hey, he's used to supporting Crystal. If anyone's going to throw themselves in there, it's going to be Ella. Well, let's get on to the riff for game number 2. And welcome back here as Snake and Xiaogu take to the riff one more time for their best of 2 here. Xiaogu up a game here, looking to take 3 points away from this series and finish a fairly decent weekend for them. But of course, sitting at number 2 with Snake tied for 3rd between 3 other teams means that both teams need the points. But it's Xiaogu that can take all the marbles here for the last day of week number 9.
Yeah, kind of a sticky situation for Snake to find themselves in. They really need to find some points, especially because, again, LGD only played 1 game this weekend, and they are tied for that 3rd place spot. Incredibly important to make sure that you're in the top 4 for your playoff standings.
Yep. And it's a big fight for top 4 right now. Even the playoff spots probably going to get closer as well. But Flandre on the top side, that was adorable. Synchronized warding from other sides of the map.
Flandre's a traitor, though. He's using the SKT ward. Get him out of here.
Flandre always uses this skin as well. I'm so disappointed every time I see Vanilla now.
What's wrong with Vanilla now?
It's just not as adorable as the other 2 skins.
No, it's still super cute.
I don't know.
Look at his little tail.
Well, Zizio and Flandre are going to start together, at least, here on the first buff. But the looks of the current positioning around the minimap are going to have standard lanes here in this particular game.
So again, no lane swap coming through for Snake this time, which again, they lane swap a ton. They have a Vayne, and they choose not to lane swap it.
I feel like everybody wants to 2v2 on Vayne here, but Snake going to stand down in the bottom here. See what Ella and Martin can do with their curious 2v2 lane. But he's probably the big player for me here early on in this game. Back on the Victor. Champion, he's shown a lot of prowess on versus Doinby's Ezreal, who really just needs to farm as much as possible. Yeah,
Doinby just wants to sit back on the shortest lane in the game and just pray that Victor doesn't catch him.
Yep, pretty much. Early levels especially, pretty vulnerable, but Flandre and ZZR. That's Snake's top and jungler. Going to start this blue buff up. Flandre gave a bit of help with the Grom. Going to give a nice healthy leash onto the blue as well. In fact, Shen's also jungling, so...
And naturally, the reason why you'll always see a top laner, or most consistently the top laners at least either double jungling or picking up camps, is just to make sure that they're getting the lane matchups that they want.
Yep, which makes a lot of sense. I like that Doinby smited the Raptor there as well. Cute stuff there to help V, who almost died to the Raptors. Shen, again, not a particularly good jungler, but V does manage to finish the camp, teleport to top lane, get himself there, but Flandre didn't have to use his, so a slight summoner advantage there in the first few minutes of this game as you continuing the battle against the Ezreal. Doinby, though, he's pretty much expecting to sit in this exact spot all lane long.
We'll be curious when he decides to itemize into his Sheen or upgrade into the Trailblazer. Now, you have a lot of different options as far as getting that Runeglaive. If you want to try to put some kill pressure on, you can grab the Sheen early, or you can grab the Trailblazer and attempt just to sit back and farm a bit more.
Hope that the AoE clears out the lanes as TCT aggressively posturing for a stun here. Does get one onto both there.
Both.
But no follow-up from TNT. Nice little play there from Annie.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why he didn't follow up and maximize the most of that trade, but, you know, more power to him.
Message being sent and received in the bottom lane. But Martin, again, kind of much like Ezreal for Xiaogu in the mid lane, just going to try and survive this matchup for as long as possible. Things are not particularly pretty here on the bottom side, although we do have ZZR coming to the bottom side as Swift. Almost about to die to the Krugs.
I believe.
Should just be safe. Oh, reset. Struggle straight. Real struggles here. Nice throw from Swift. Does get it.
That was the most intensive fight we've seen all game.
It was. It was a fierce duel between the big Krug and Swift. Swift, though, barely eking that one out. As we do again, have standard lanes here. Flanger on the top side. About 6 yes ahead of V, so has a small lead there with his Doran's Blade. After I think Shen's going to be A-OK.
Did make the initial back, whereas Flanger just was able to walk up into the top lane, whereas Shen got to use his teleport, picked up the extra ward. Hasn't gotten a chance to place it, though, because he's pretty firmly underneath his tower.
Getting Flandered. TNT now shoving Martin and Ella into their turret. Going to force man to last hit under the tower. Shouldn't be too much trouble here. Especially with Ella having that shield to help out.
Is this a dragon call? No.
Maybe. Nope. Abort. False alarm there for us going as Swift. Just going to wander into the red side jungle here of Snake. Put down a ward. Doesn't have one. Nope. There he does. I lied. Does put it down there over the Raptors. Might think about a gank in the bottom lane. Oh, TCT. I like this.
Really good communication from Swift in TCT.
Oh, TCT wakes up.
There we go.
Does look around. This is going to be trouble here. TCT
Goodbye,
moves in. Gonna
Ella.
get the flash. Ella, no! Doesn't get stunned in the convergence. They'll be fine.
Wow, TCT not pulling the trigger. Obviously was looking for the parallel convergence to chain CC there, but I think he was just on the line.
And we've seen Annie Echo be really effective in team fights, but I agree. That was one situation in a gank there where TCT, man, just use your flash. I've seen you used to play for LMQ. I know what you're like. Doesn't do it that time. Really respecting Martin and Ella's 2v2, apparently.
It was crazy, too, because Ella had already used the stand behind me. So he didn't have the W available. I mean, naturally, he would have his flash available, but you could have still at least traded the summoner for summoner, although I would say that flash on Annie is much more useful than flash on Braum.
It's fair. Maybe Xiaogu just doing a bit of a risk assessment. Deciding that it wasn't worth the all-in commit there to the gank. Once he's going to get nice and low in his own jungle, taking the Krugs away from Xiaogu. Apparently, the red side Krugs are very deadly. They've almost killed 2 junglers, man. They've got almost 2 bodies on them. Those are some aggressive jungle mobs.
Kill bounty on the Krugs. Sure to take him out.
Flanger level 6 now. We'll have his ultimate in Mega Now 4, but again, giving it a CS lead nice, chugging a couple pots. Gonna hold V here for as long as possible, but bit of a wet noodle fight there in the top lane. Still impressed to see Flandre have a go of the 1v1 lane and come out of it. We rarely get to see him
He
lane
never.
1v1. Exactly.
And it's awkward, too, because you would think that, yes, teams will lane swap on Flandre just because they don't want to 1v1 him, but more often than not, it'll be his own team that initiates a lane swap. And again, where are you going?
That was a lot of damage. Megan gonna give him extra health. He'll hop away. Does spot Swift taking out his ward, so gets out from that. But Doinby trying to affect the map early here. Does actually go for the Sheen, not the Trailblazer. So a bit more of the aggressive choice there on the early itemization.
We'll see if that means that Swift is going to make appearance into this mid lane, possibly look for a kill on Victor. Again, you have fantastic dive potential with Echo as soon as he has his ultimate available.
ZZR looking for a dive himself. They can line up a nice gank here when he hits level 6 especially. Not quite there yet for the Gragas, but not too far away. ZZR though, going to wander back towards his jungle, realize the Raptor camp's gone because Swift has taken it away. Let's see what he can get on here, but sort of caught between camp respawns as TCT clears out a ward near the Grump.
Wow, placing the pink ward down, so really making it a point to deny as much vision as possible as opposed to placing that pink ward, onto the blue buff.
No, this is my Grump. I want it. I want it now. TCT. Valiantly defending his team's jungle camps with the pink ward. Siva farming up nice. They actually already had the early back BF sold there for Siva. Vampiric sets up for Vayne. The line of continue as normal. Doinby going to get all in.
Yeah, I don't know what Doinby was thinking right there, stepping forward. He was like, hey, mate, you just missed your ultimate on me.
And then gets ulted by you, forced to use his flash. You hold on to both his summoner spells, as we'll have blue buffs donated for both sides here.
Just frankly a misposition from Doinby.
Here we go. Well, goes back now. Let's see if he can assess that. Oh, Flandre looking for B. Doesn't find him. There he is. Megan not there. Boulder toss hits a minion. Flandre pops back into minion. But he was trying. Wanted to try and keep B down. She got a Hex Drinker here for the early lane.
Yeah, but who really sent the message there? Flandre or V? I feel like V definitely sent the message.
Good
Yeah.
Flandre going to do some damage here to the tower. Actually has decent damage onto the top lane turret. Not massive though. Just going to annoy V under the turret. That's part of the reason why Minina is just such an annoying little champion in top lane.
How aggressive, how far forward he'll push just to abuse you with his range.
Yep, that's Flandre. Going to force V back there, but teleports back up for both top laners. Means that V can rejoin the lane quickly if he needs. Got a blue buff battle in the mid lane. It's going to force Doinby to use his ultimate again. This is the problem when you don't have the Runeglaive. Things do get tricky when it comes to wave clear.
Is very close to having that item up and online, however, with the Sheen as well as the Trailblazer complete in his inventory, so just needs to get some breathing space in this lane so he can make that back and pick up the Runeglaive.
Breathing space important in the bottom lane as well. Martin keeping up in CS, trying to hold on to as many creeps as he can in the bottom lane. And the bomb is sitting there back to V, who did teleport into the top lane. Flandre goes mega, ZZR's down the bottom, goes in, gets the body slam in. Massive thunder to TCT, and Annie seems so dead at this point in the game, but TCT gonna make him work for it. Martin, they're gonna hunt him down and get first blood.
Beautiful gank from Swift right there. A nice cast to knock TCT back, and unfortunately, I mean, TCT had his ultimate, so just, again, a mechanical misstep. The fact that he died in that gank there without burning either of his summoner spells is a bit of a red flag.
And Dragon Star started as Swift. Gonna get caught there by you. Victor in the area in a 4v5. Means that Xiao cannot contest with this Dragon. Snake once again get themselves the early lead in game number 2.
Oh, snap. I confused ZZR for Swift. My fault, ZZR. Here we go. Swift looking for the steal, however.
Yeah, gonna go in for it again. Doinby with the ulti. Swift dives in. Gragas gets it. Casts a corner break out. Stuns a massive chain CC. And Yu gets himself a kill.
The power of Victor in early game. Just the massive AoE CC lock. That said, Xiao, they only sacrificed one member looking for the only available play for them, which was the steal. So, yeah, they lose the Dragon, they lose Echo, but risk versus reward was there.
Yeah, I mean, fine play there from Xiao, but really smart stuff from Snake to CC him up long enough to have him not use any of his summoner spells or his ultimate. So Swift will die. That's the second kill there to Snake. And a gold lead, sorry, about 1,500 gold plus the Dragon's going to give Snake a nice little advantage here at 10.5 minutes.
A lot more control over the early game, but this is what we expect from Snake. We talked about it last game, how their level 1s, or excuse me, the early levels always just look so crisp and clean from them. Fortunately, it never translates as well into that mid-game, so we'll see if this time goes a little bit better for them, or if the power spike of Runeglaive Ezreal will take over.
Yeah, I think Doinby is the one waiting for a few more items here. Going to start to farm things out. Remember, Runeglaive doesn't
work on Ludens.
I feel like it doesn't give you, like, yeah, not anymore, that's true. I feel like, I guess my question to you, Froskurin, is when is Doinby expecting to be relevant in this game? Because right now he's just sitting in mid lane, farming up a storm.
As soon as he has Runeglaive.
Well, he has Runeglaive right now with the cooldown boots, so...
It's really going to be a 2-item power spike. If you think about AP Kog'Maw and AP Ezreal kind of doing the same thing. I mean, AP Kog'Maw, once he gets his Luden's Echo, that's really when he takes off. It's just about applying flat AP to just disgusting poke and burst damage. And that's when AP Ezreal will take off.
So no more Ludens, of course, with the changes,
yeah.
So... Probably expecting something like Rabbit on set.
Yep, decap.
Sounds like a really bad coffee you'd order at a hipster barista joint.
That's not what you call it?
Decap? No.
Oh, hello.
Well, today you learnt. TCT, though, tagged by Winter's Bite. Martin goes in. Tibbers, though, down as well. Annie has to try to chunk through some of the damage as Siva's going to pop her ulti. Heal used aggressively, though. Going to kite onto TNT. Gets stunned up by Brawn passive. Not enough damage from that condemn, but oh! As ZZR going to take out TNT.
The slide. Hold on, he's looking for the dive.
Oh, good stun there from TCT. Tagged though by Ella. Martin wants it. He'll get it. Takes the kill as Vayne.
Beautiful dive from Ella. Oh, here comes the...
Nope.
Oh.
Get away. Dodging the ult there from Doinby.
Beautiful dive from Snake, and looking just a lot more cohesive and together as a team, specifically with their jungler ZZR, looking much more comfortable on Gragas than he did Echo, and I made the mistake, you know, calling him Swift earlier just because I'm so used to seeing Swift on Gragas, but looking good.
And again, it's been another fairly quiet early game here for Swift. We're used to seeing this aggressive jungler, really strong ganks, very smart pathing early on, and Swift, he's fine when he farms up. He's certainly got a good Sejuani when that champion was very popular. His Echo is great as well, but I feel like the impact is not there in either game, to be honest, well, even on the Gragas.
We talked about Champ Select. That's one of the issues with the Runeglaive Ezreal is that you're effectively sacrificing at least one lane where you have gank or kill pressure into it, so it telegraphs where you're going to go. Speaking of going.
Cancelled on the top side, Chaos Storm chasing them under the turret. Flandre going to push the wave in. V's like, I can't do anything about this. V going to take him, sorry, you're going to take him out.
I saw it in Flander's eyes as he hopped forward. He's like, kill?
Me?
Assist?
No.
Give?
Instead for Victor. 2-0 now. 5 kills up for Snake in this game. Really off to a nice little start here in this one. But 4,500 gold up, if my terrible maths is correct.
Mine?
That seems to be this a little easier. Popped into the mid lane just to ward off Doinby. Collect the farm as it streams into the mid lane turret.
Now all I can envision is the seagulls.
Oh, from Finding Nemo?
Yep.
Have you watched that since you've been in Sydney?
No.
I feel like that would be an improved experience.
Oh my goodness. You're right.
There you go.
Oh.
Pro tip. Come to Sydney, watch Finding Nemo.
Here's a
ulti. Teleport as well. They want this red buff. Swift's like, hello? Nope. Thunder's like, thanks, I'll take it. Yep. Takes it away there. Level 11 actually for the Nara as well. Snake starting to pick up the pace a bit, I feel like.
Yeah, making much more proactive plays and committing on them, but here's...
Side. And he killed there as DNC gets condemned. Martin going to chase him. Stun there for the Brawl passive. Martin with a double. Can he make it 3v? Trying to run away. Silver Bolts will not proc Doinby.
Here comes Doinby.
Yeah, he's the problem. Ella now as well needs to find a way to dodge out of it. Q lands for both.
Oh.
V gets a nice double taunt. Martin going to get locked up. Ella's still alive. Might be able to V. Ella's away. V will die. Doinby going to get the counter kill. Barely gets it. And Doinby claims the double, but Martin got so many kills.
Oh, here comes Snake, though.
Yep.
Excuse me,
now
you.
You're going to come in. Oh, the tower tagged him. He's dead. Doesn't give the assist to you, but will give a 4th kill to Martin.
Wow. Okay, so, I mean, the lesser of two evils. Not going to agree with that one entirely. I don't think he meant to step into the tower aggro, but at that point he was like, you know, I might as well deny the assist. Doesn't give the blue buff or the kill over to Victor, instead puts it back in the hands of Martin, which Martin was 6-3 last game, had all of Snake's kills and wasn't able to carry. This time around, Yu is on more of a carry-oriented champion as opposed to the Lulu, so we'll see if this goes better for them. But 6-1-2 right now on this main, back in the driver's seat. Can he make it connect?
Yeah, I mean, TNT just got Infinity Edge, but that's it. It's a raw Infinity Edge. No boots, no Avarice Blade, no attack speed here just yet, so behind. And Martin, we've already seen, especially with the Blade of the Ruin King, we expect Vayne to have an edge over Sivir at this point in the lane. 6-1-2 with a pretty substantial gold lead of about 2,500. Once again, the game is all Martin's.
The reason why TNT decided to itemize the Infinity Edge as opposed to the BF sort of the pickaxe that we see normally is because the Dragon is spawning in 7 seconds, and you need the battle stats of the crit that the raw Infinity Edge is going to give you versus picking up the boots and the flat AD of the pickaxe and BF sword.
And it's been a remarkably difficult lane for Xiaogu here in the 2v2.
It's like people keep telling me that Vayne's really bad at laning, and she's not.
Well, got the edge of a Sivir Annie, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, because TNT never got control of the wave, which is actually really weird. You would think that the auto attack range from Annie as well as the ricochet W from Sivir would be able to just keep Martin pushed in, but fantastic gank pressure and dive control from Ella and ZZR really tipped the scales here in this lane.
I think I'm getting more and more impressed by Ella's Braum.
Ella's a really good player.
Yeah, definitely. Can agree there. But nice to see a lot of new support players, sorry, a lot of LPL support players pick up the new support in Braum. Has good games on, and Mako as well from EDG. Having great performances on the champ, but Dragon not going to be attempted just yet here. Snake realized that they've got plenty of a lead here in this game. Don't need to throw it all away by getting too aggressive under the Dragon, but Flutter is forcing V to push back in the tower in the top lane. Swift's going to try and steal the Scuttle Crab.
There are 2 Scuttle Crabs right now.
Goodbye, Doinby. Scuttle Crab dies. Not Doinby got it. Doinby's dead.
Doinby's
Swift
dead.
got the crab, but you just all in Doinby again, and Ezreal just can't do anything. Like, at all.
Doesn't have, I mean, again, Ezreal has pretty poor matchups, although Swift thinking about going in and completely changes his mind as Ella punches him with the Q.
Can't defend that turret. And now Snake will go into the Dragon. Martin going to start it early. QG2 a vision here with the Scuttle Crab, but Martin does not care. Going to take this away from himself. Everyone else will join back in. Zizzy will get there just in time to smite it away. 2 Dragons to 0 now. 10-2 up in kills and 3 are up in towers. Snake obscenely far ahead in this early game. 6,500 gold at 18 minutes.
And this is what I don't understand. Why don't Snake give Flandre the 1v1? I just feel like the games go so much more smooth for them. Look at Flandre's CS compared to V's. 182 to 130. There's no reason. I see your look, Pastry.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
Like,
why don't they give him, and it's Snake, they always initiate the lane swap. I'm like, you've got a hard carry, flame-esque top laner, and you keep putting him in the jungle to double farm. Just let him do his thing.
this is full flame mode. I like that comparison you made in game 1 there, because he has gone completely flame on V's butt here in the top lane. So far ahead.
So, I'm glad to see them finally look for a 2v2 and give, you know, Flandre the resources that he needs.
Hello, made on blue buff. Everyone else rethinks their position. Ella, little too low there as the blue does go over to someone. Oh! From TCT. Parallel Convergence going to lock them down.
Get in there.
Martin trying to snipe TCT. Doinby though gets CZR. You can down back there. Swift's looking in, pops the heal there.
Here comes
for a bit
Flandre.
of extra movement out. Flandre mini now though with almost no rage. Forcing the chrono break out of Swift. He will die there to you. And Flandre will not be stopped. Going in. Double kill there. Coming in for Victor. Now Flandre going to flash over. Almost mega to triple there for you as Flandre uses his ulti. And they'll just die. I think can smell a Penta. TNT going to be the next kill. No, Flandre gets it with a completely ace under the tower as Martin gets the last kill.
And Flandre, no fear. We talk about the CS discrepancy. Ran in there. 1v4 as mini Gnar.
With a bunch of gold to spend, I'm sure. Very curious to see how much gold Flandre has got banked up there. But it's probably, yeah, almost 3,000 in the bank. It just went in.
Okay, so here's the replay here. They do manage to get the blue buff with a nice snipe from Doiby. Good flank from TCT to lock at the back line. But here we go. It's just about Snake kiting back, using the mobility of not only Vayne, but the heal. And then here comes the cavalry. Flandre, no fear. He's got no rage. It's not like he's going to Mega Gnar ult into them.
Well, another fight here as Swift is caught out his own jungle, stunned up by Braum, and you zaps him with a laser and claims the kill.
Black Cleaver.
Don't be run away. Don't do it. Don't do it. Flandre going in. He's got Black Cleaver. He's actually not that tanky. Ella jumps in to block the shots with Unbreakable. But Flandre is playing with absolutely zero mundos at this game. He does not care at all.
He was going in.
He was. He's making it now. He's like, guys, can we fight? They might actually.
25% HP, I'm ready.
TCT, Chaos Storm almost takes out his health bar. Flandre going to dive back in, looking for the ulti on Mega Gnar. You, though, ridiculous damage on this Victor. Gets a kill as Martin going to flank Doinby. Barely lives with the Arcane Shift after that Condemn. Ella going to tag Shen and Snake all over QG in this game.
They were positioning for the Baron. Don't think they're going to pull the trigger on it this time around, simply because Flandre, the Mega Gnar has now been popped. Likewise, still relatively low health. Does have the Black Cleaver, though. And
just going to continue bullying V. You talked about that Flame-esque carry style in the top lane. Flandre will always be able to challenge the Shen, and Shen, whose split pushing is normally relied upon as part of his top lane. Not going to be in effect for a long time here in this game.
Completely agree. Does have his Sunfire up and running, but definitely needs more resistances, particularly that MR, simply because Snake, I always want to say Snake, but is 8-0-2 right now.
Yeah.
So Flandre doing a great job, but this Victor is massive.
And I called him Doinby earlier because of how well he played Victor in game 1.
I know, because they're so similar that you see Victor and you're like, Doinby.
He needs a stun. Oh, see you later. Oh, Shen all used. Martin's like, I regret everything. DZR coming in. Nice cast, though. Doesn't quite find the kill, but he gets his carry to safety. Beautiful disengage from ZZR. Martin definitely saw the regret there. What? Oh, flash? Teleporting in. They're going in deep. TCT's been tagged by Braum's Glacial Fissure, and Martin going to claim himself a kill. Now TNT, the next target. Parallel Convergence will slow them down. No, not Martin. Cannot be stopped. Goes in for TNT. Gets him in about 5 shots. And Swift going to go under his tower to safety, but he has a big right to be scared in this game. Snake is so far ahead. The rise of Sivir left us open to a lot of Vayne picks, and there was always a question, why is Vayne considered kind of a soft counter to Sivir? And you saw it right there. It's her ability to chase Sivir down with the use of her passive in her final hour. Flandre's diving, looks for the scoop. She's one of the few AD carries that can keep up with Sivir, likewise because her damage is auto-based versus caster-based, like Corki and Graves, means that Sivir's spell shield means less. Outplay time? No, can't outplay this. Oh! Flashes the wall. He's got the laser. He's got the laser. See ya. Don't be tried. It's so hard for Ezreal to do that much in a 1v1 when you're behind. Because Victor just does so much more damage than you do. Have to hit your skill shots. It's true. Victor just kind of has to walk up and order you. Yeah. You doing a nice job there in that 1v1. But again, it's all this Goldie that Snake have built up. Their early game in their standard laning has been so good this game They're 20 kills up to 4 on Xiaogu, knocking down turrets. QG still don't have one. Neither do they have a dragon. And all that results in 12,000 gold ahead at 23 minutes.
You can never standard lane against Snake just because their early game is so consistent from a standard lane and from a 2v2. But again, just giving Flandre that head start into where he becomes this massive monster. You have to lane swap against Snake.
Look, we talk about Snake doing a lot of the lane swapping themselves, you know. Snake are still good in that position, and they're just not as good. The fact they made game 1 relatively close, and then this game is not even close at all at this stage of the game. QG do still have time, but they're going to need to do a lot of uphill battling in this particular game. So, like, that tells me a lot about Snake's growth as a team and how much better they're getting. Because in standard lanes, they've always been good. But if they can get better at other things, like the lane swaps, like the fast pushes, that sort of macro level play as well, the team can only benefit from that.
And Snake was probably made one of the best roster changes that I think I've ever seen an LPL team make. You know, the fact that Yu and Baka fit such similar roles, but Yu is just a straight upgrade in terms of his competitive picks available to him. The fact that Baka, you know, had a very limited champion pool, but you still have that control mage style. So Snake, you know, one of the few teams that really, I think, identified exactly what they were weak at, and then target focused to change it.
And even their current changes, you know, playing more of their sub-jungler and AD carry. Snake seem to be just a lot more together in general with the changes they've made, and that's, again, testament to the organization making smart changes as Swift is trying to force them off these turrets. But Martin, who's got a Phantom Dancer, a Blade of the Ruined King, and his QSS, not to mention the fact that Snake have advantages in the top lane and in whatever lane you decides to join. Qiao are basically losing on 3 different fronts, and Snake are only continuing to punish them.
And we saw why, you know, Xiaogu, when they had the blue side, but they decided to prioritize pick Victor. Victor has always been strong, but particularly between Doinky and Yu as players, they are disgusting Victor players.
They're showing it here in this game. 9-0-2 in this one here for Yu's Victor. Probably a pretty similar scoreline for Doinby. Very impressive play on that champion in game 1 here as well. And Flandre hasn't really built a tank item still. Just hanging out with his Black Cleaver and his Hex Drinker with a bit of MR there for his lane as they take away the red buff. Give it over to Martin and just continue to get further and further ahead.
This is a little bit harder though. They now need to break the inhibitor line of Xiaogu, which means that they'll probably be looking at diving a tower. Still very dangerous to do, especially against an Annie and a Shin.
Seagrag is bop into the back of the pit there. That's their other option, of course, is take Baron. No, they are doing it. Definitely doing it.
They need to take Baron to help them break that inhibitor line without threat of a dive, just because, again, it's a Vayne, has pretty piss-poor siege.
Doinby looks for it, doesn't get it. Flandre, good stun there, actually, onto V there. Flandre looking for the massive ulti onto all of them.
Oh,
Gets
wow.
a huge nah. And Yu cleans house in that fight. Swift and V running away. Martin will chase them down. Vayne will get the triple. Flandre going to line it up, try and give his teammate a quadra. Gets the slow with the boulder top. Martin dives in, and the last kill does go to Vayne.
And that is going to be the quadra kill, but really on the back of Yu. Just massive AoE damage. The laser, the Chaos Storm destroyed Xiaogu. They don't need the Baron. They're going to clean up the base and surely the game.
Yep, forced a nice 50-50 there for Xiaogu, but unfortunately it was a false choice. No good options there for Xiaogu. They do get their base broken. They'll lose Baron fairly quickly as well. They'll respawn. They actually have enough time. It's only 26.5 minutes in. The death time is still quite short. But game is far out of reach for Xiaogu at this point. They have to do...
We're close to a 20k gold discrepancy. It's 16k right now if I can do math. 13.
I can't do math. Don't ask me. Bloodthirster there for Martin. Is this the right choice this time?
Yes. Vayne is fine. He's 13-1-5.
Oh yeah, Martin does not care at all.
It's also a really nice defensive option against the burst damage from the Annie Timbers because you're getting the shield right there. See the BT itemization a lot when LeBlanc was very popular.
Yep. Not bad against Victor either. Is maybe part of the argument for Martin's good last game.
Can you have a perfect game? Will he get caught?
He's going to kill someone. He's going to try. Good stun there from Annie. Keeps TNT alive. He would have died to that Litbane proc power transfer auto attack. But instead, Snake just continued getting control. Ella blocks another Ezreal ulti. Just the carries on Snake are so fed. Flandre is a Trinity Force, my goodness.
Of course, he built Trinity Force on everyone.
This is a snowball choice. This is a style choice from Flandre.
That is a Flandre choice. Here we go. Well, round 2.
Baron again.
Here
You're
comes
going to play
Swift.
Gatekeeper. Swift's like, yep, don't really want this at all. PCT's like, I don't really fancy it either, boss.
Get in there.
Gonna zone him out. Swift takes it up. 40% of his health.
I believe Swift.
Convergence gets some. Yu's going to go in. Just wants to kill. Tibbers is down. Baron getting low. They actually have to be careful. Doinby can't steal it. He tried, but he gets knocked up by Brom. Swift will get the kill onto Yu, but Ella going to tag him. Ulti there from ZZR, almost enough to finish it off. But Echo is dead. Flandre's ported his way in, and a Trinity forced his way to a triple kill.
Yu throws his perfect game just to make sure that Swift can't get the miracle Baron save. That is a true team player.
Screw the team. Get the kills. And Snake gonna look to end the game here. Ella gonna dive in onto the minions. Baron will give them just enough room here to squeeze out the game. Martin pops his ulti for a bit of extra AD. Flandre ultis the turret because they know this game is over. Xiaogu will lose game 2 in dramatic fashion to Snake, and we'll split a very exciting 2-game series.
And this is the difference between Flandre and a 1v1 and Flandre in a lane swap. Can Snake lane swap? Yes, they have a fantastic early game as far as their macro is concerned. But if you give him the 1v1, he just runs you over. That was what, a 50 CS discrepancy between these two top laners?
I think it ended up closer to 150.
That was disgusting.
It was really disgusting.
Look at his face. That was fun, guys. We should do it more.
Don't be thinking the exact opposite there. That was not fun at all. Don't fancy that. Tough, really tough. Played the Ezreal, couldn't do anything, it felt like. I don't know what items he finished with, but even if he'd had the Death Cup there, by the time he got it, the game was just so far gone.
I feel like you have to ban Yu from Victor or priority pick it away from them. From purple side, you have to ban Victor against Yu. He's too good at that. Probably one of the best LPL mid laners at playing control mages.
And look, maybe the same could be said for a lot of other players. Victor's just such a strong pick. And there are so many good mid laners in the LPL that can play him, but I agree, Yu might be the best of all of them. You can see there. He's pretty happy on his screen after that win.
If you think about his career, you know, 2014 EDG, his big champion was Ziggs. Yu has always been known as a big control mage player. He had, you know, Name on his team as his AD carry. If you give him any sort of tools where he controls the terrain in front of him as well as massive damage that Victor is going to do, he's just going to run with it.
See, that's the thing, because I feel like Yu would like everyone else to think otherwise. He's like, no,
I want to play assassins.
I'm a LeBlanc player, I'm a Fizz player, trust me. He's like, no, play the control mages. You'll play it and you'll like it. Turns out, but that's